So you were trying to figure out like what Javi was like, and that's how you befriended him?
I only befriended him secretly because I wanted to steal his secrets.
I feel like this is a theme with you, Nico. I feel like this is a theme. I'm like scared.
I'm benign. So I start with like nefarious intentions. And then when I get to know you better, I just like, it was like, you know what? Let's just be friends.
Nico is very golden retriever energy in my mind.
Okay. That's really humiliating, but thank you.
It's a compliment.
It's like the lamest dog that always is like
It's a
it's like it's the most vanilla dog.
No.
What are you
it's
talking
a
about?
compliment. No, you should look it up after this podcast. You should look it up. It's a compliment. Well, good spin. Hi, Javi.
Hello. How are you?
What is wrong with your voice?
I know.
What
So-
happened?
In New York, I got sick. And the reason I got sick, in my mind, is when you go from like hot to cold, and you just get like resfriado. That happened, but my brother also had this AC that was full of mold. And he had the same cough that I now have. So I think I got sick because of that, but I'm not sick anymore. I just have no voice.
Sexy voice.
I decided, I don't know why I thought this would be a good idea, but I decided to smoke a joint. That did not help. I'm pretty sure that made me lose my voice.
What is the logic behind like, I'm sick, I'm recovering my voice, so you know what? This is going to fix it. A joint.
You know what?
Yeah, smoke. Smoke is going to go well through the.
It's going to coat
Transparency. I was having a mental breakdown and I needed that joint. So that's all I can say. So how have you guys been?
Okay.
Tell me about you.
First, before I tell you, I want to address the elephant in the room, which is Javier Devitt here. Welcome, Javier. Javier is a director. I'm gonna embarrass him.
Thank you.
Javier is a director. Everything he has put out has been in South by Southwest, and some have won awards. And he has done these things out of sheer will. Like, I found him one. He was like, I'm just shooting a little short, just me, with my camera. Like, I don't have anyone. I really don't want a DP or anything. Okay, he won South by Southwest. Like, I was like, what the fuck is happening with it? Like, I was like, I was intrigued. And that's how we became friends, because I was really interested in getting his mojo. And I couldn't yet, but I'm still planning to steal it. So I'm very glad.
We are from the same country. We're
Argentinians.
So
Yeah. So you were trying to figure out like what Javi was like, and that's how you befriended him?
Yeah, I only befriended him secretly because I wanted to steal his secrets.
I feel like this is a theme with you, Nico. I feel like this is a theme. I'm like scared.
No, I mean, because I'm benign. So I start with like nefarious intentions. And then when I get to know you better, I just like, it was like, you know what? Let's just be friends.
Yeah. Nico is very golden retriever energy in my mind.
Okay. That's really humiliating, but thank you.
It's a compliment.
It's like the lamest dog that always is like
It's a compliment.
it's the most vanilla dog.
No.
What are you
it's a
talking about?
compliment. No, you should look it up after this podcast. You should look it up. It's a compliment.
Okay.
Javi, I've met you a handful of times, and it's always a pleasure. So I'm excited for you to join us as we go
Likewise.
our new format. And yeah, let's get started. We have to update people. Nico, go first.
You want me to do it?
wanna-
So I've been very busy with my day job, which is commercial, and I'm balancing this. I think I mentioned this before. Like, I'm balancing this energy of being very blessed about having work and being able to work in a time where like everybody's struggling, with the fact that I'm not being able to really connect with my art or really go deep into any subject matter too well. I don't know if you find this, but when you are so busy, like you can't really think really deeply about anything. Like you're just reacting. So I'm in that mode of reacting. But I brought an update that I think you're gonna like, because one of the things I shot was for this band Hot and Freddy, and they're an up and coming duo who are incredible. Like the music is super cool. I don't want to define what the genre is because I'm very bad at defining music genres, but I can tell you that the look that they have is insane. So they dress as jesters of the court. Sometimes they dress as like carnival, from like 19th century carnival people. Sometimes they're like a little bit of like a clown. It's incredible. They define their style as castlecore, which is now, I discovered this is a thing with kids your age. And also, I think talking to them about their personas, they were like, we're like jesters just browsing through the dumpsters of the royalty. So which is like kind of like stealing from the dumpsters of the rich. And I when you see the looks that they have on their music videos, you go like, oh yeah, that's what they do. And so I had to shoot with them for a thing, and I had to find a location that would match their style. And not me, but my team found this incredible place called Musayac Castle in the Hollywood Hills. And it's
Oh,
incredible place.
I
Do
think
you know about this?
this is no. I think I'm not sure. Is this the castle where it's like you can drive past it and you can look up at it? And I think they rent it like as an Airbnb, and it just looks like a castle house.
Yeah, well, it fits the description. So it has gargoyles in it and all the things, and you can right past it. It's not an Airbnb, I think, because it's so precious to the people who run it that they rent it for locations for music videos, for fashion shoots. This is a place that was basically created in 1927. So it was built for this silent era Hollywood star called Maya Marsh. She was like a diva from the 20s silent cinema. And in the 60s, it was bought by this guy who dedicated 50 years of his life to hand place tiles on every surface of this incredible place. So the house is filled with little tiles that he built or made, or it's really crazy. The last tile was placed a few days before he died. It's the most insane place, and that was the kind of like the biggest highlight of my week was to be in that place and be creative with this guys from Hot and Freddy who are so sweet, and we shot a bunch of fun stuff, and I'll show you later when we edit it. But
Video?
so it's for a brand, and they are basically hired by the brand. And I'm shooting some sort of stylized documentary where they're gearing up to perform. So it starts more as I basically tap into their process and then eventually led to performance. So the performance feels like a music video, but before that, it's a stylized. So it's really, it always feels a little bit elevated, and I hope it's going to turn out cool. And I can tell you more about it when we are finished, and I can tell you offline, but it's going to be cool. And because they're so charismatic and so special, and the music is great. The music is so fun. You'll love it. I'll send you a link so you can listen to their singles.
That's exciting. That's cool. I'm excited to see it. Javi, what have you been up to?
Well, as like the name of the podcast said, I didn't make it. So I was doing a treatment for a brand, for a commercial too, and I lost it yesterday. And I was so close, and I was working the whole week doing a bunch of things, and then when you get that call that says like, I don't think you are the recommendation. I was like, oh fuck, I thought that I was the recommendation by the agency. But yeah, those things happen. Like you work for free and then you don't get that job. That's directing life.
Yeah, ultimately I feel like it wasn't meant for you, and it wasn't meant to be. Now you have your freedom to do something else.
Yeah. And at the same time, I'm like glad there is this like thing, like when you're glad that some things happen. It's like I want that thing because it was a lot of money and it was going to be good. But at the same time, it's like, oh, okay, but like now I can relax and I have a vacation that I can go and do something without being worried. Because I usually it's like, oh, I have a vacation, but I'm going to work during vacation.
Where are you going on vacation?
I'm going to Mexico with my mom.
That's so cool. Where in Mexico?
We are going to Mexico City first and then to Puerto Vallarta. And I never been in Puerto Vallarta. My mom was like long time ago, so yeah.
I'm sure your Puerto Vallarta experience is going to be very different than mine, but I used to go all the time because it's like the closest thing from Mexico City. Mm-hmm. And it was just always so like, I don't know how to describe it, just random. It is a very random place with like once in a while like American tourists. But I just remember like Senor Frogs. I just remember like
what is that?
You don't know what Senor Frogs is?
No.
Oh,
like, do you know what it is, Javier? What is Senor Frog?
I guess frogs. I don't know.
You guys, it's like the most cliche American bar for tourists in Mexico, and it's like a dancing place, but it's actually like a restaurant. It's Rainforest Cafe, right?
I was going to say like dancing frogs, but
it's like a whole brand. Yeah, it's.
I felt like a place that I want to go.
Yeah, exactly.
You avoid it at all costs.
But that's good. That's good that you're two getting me on Laying Frog. And Javier will need this. I want to say something. Javier's mom is the coolest, most incredible artist and is very famous in Argentina. For all of us. No, she's not mainstream. Like, she's an underground artist. Like, I want you to tell us, like, can you briefly tell us about your mom?
So my mom in the 80s was part of a theater group, very underground and groundbreaking because Argentina was coming out of the dictatorship. So there was a lot of like restraint in art. Like people were during the dictatorship, and then in 82, everything like breaks and every expression went out. So my mom was part of this group. Gambas al Ajillo was the name. They were doing crazy stuff for the time, and now she's a really interesting person. She's a writer, she's an actress, and really inspiring life.
She's been to Mexico before, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are just gonna kind of like have a little bonding moment.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm close with my mom. Like we talk a lot. When you do things that are close, because I work with actors a lot, and like she's an actress and she like teach drama, and like so we have a lot in common in conversations. So I share a lot of what I do. She reads all the scripts and she give me notes, and yeah, I think I might say that I abuse sometimes that relationship because I like ask her a lot of opinions and my stuff. I born 85, so I grew up in theaters. Like she was like touring and really underground theaters. So all my childhood during the 80s and 90s was in theaters.
Would you ever like write something about that? Because I'd want to watch it.
I asked the same question.
It's an interesting question. Like sometimes I think, like when you see people writing about actors or making movies about actors, it's a really interesting thing because sometimes it's everyone is trying to do that. I feel it's like the first idea an actor have or a director has, like, let's make a movie about the life that I have around. Most of my times I try to go far away from it. Like for example, if I try to think a character, I don't want them to be artists, because it's like every single movie has that idea. So it's like try to explore something else.
I get that. Yeah.
But yeah, I think
all I do is writing artists, and it's so hard because it's like low stakes. I mean, for us it's high stakes, but for people who aren't, like, it's not really something that super compelling unless there's a life or death situation.
Yeah, and I think it's like you write about artists because you know that life very well, so it's like comes easily to you, and it's the same for me. And sometimes it's like visual. Someone that is an artist is a visual person usually, so their visual world is really easy to portray in a visual medium. Contrary to that, if you have to make a character that is a lawyer or is like a mechanic, maybe we don't know. We don't know that, yeah, and we don't know that life that well. So I guess
which film did portray it in a very like refreshing way. Did y'all watch Worst Person in the World?
Mm-hmm. No, I haven't.
Yeah, it's very good.
I gotta watch it. It's so good. It was one of my favorite films of last 2 years ago. Was it, Nico?
2 years ago, yeah. There's a new movie by that director.
Exactly. Not exactly right.
I want to watch it so bad. Yeah, apparently it's better than Worst Person in the World, but we'll see.
Helen, do you have
a section for you? Yes, I do have a section for you guys. This segment is called Only Good News. And we just wanted to briefly talk about the new tax credit incentive because apparently it was raised from 330 million to 750 million. And I went into ChatGPT and I said, ChatGPT, what is a tax credit? Because I honestly don't know how to describe it. Like, I usually know what it is, but I'm like, what is it? And it's basically just used by productions, right, to subtract the percentage of their qualified production expenses from what they owe in state taxes. So you guys tell me what that means, because even that, I'm like, what?
So it means that when you are a company that is making profit on film, you have to pay taxes, right? And those taxes are basically given back to you by the state that you're shooting. So this is loosely what it means, right? Like that you have a tax incentive. It means that you can write off more things or you can get some money back after the thing. Like technically, I don't exactly know the mechanics of how it works, but it's related not directly with money that you get, like a grant. In a grant, you would get money directly, right? But in a tax credit, you would avoid to pay certain taxes, or you would basically get that money back from the taxes you paid, right? And it caps at certain amount. So I think the cap is what the part that I'm not sure about, but I think it's about how many productions can use this every year, right? So I don't know if it's first comes, first serve, and that, like every movie they write, like at some point they cut it. But it's a huge incentive because basically if you incorporate the taxes you have to pay on a production cost, then suddenly you are like lifted from that money. So it's free money from the government. So it's a US way, in a very capitalistic way, to subsidize the arts. So in countries like Argentina, you would directly have grants. Like movies would, like you would apply to the state, and the state will give you, not anymore, guys, this is gone. But in France, they still do it, right? So you apply to the CNC, which is the organism that administrates this fund, and they will review your project and they will give you money for free. And if it fits certain criteria, it will give you money for free. This is socialism, not very popular in America, but it's how certain countries can create movies that maybe that don't have that much pressure from the box office, right? America is a lot more about like swim or sink, right? Like either your movie does well or it dies. And it's not very conducive to independent cinema. I don't even know how very artistic cinema is produced here because there's no incentive. There's no financial incentive to do movies.
No, and actually the incentive is only to give you some part of that money back. It's not the full amount.
That's
So
true.
you don't get, it's like 35% of the taxes. So it's like a rebate, but like, and there is a minimum. Like if your budget, let's say it's like your budget is like less than 3 mil, you're not going to get anything. Like it's only for certain kind of movies. It's not for every independent film. I don't know if
This is
this
the California, the California, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
I mean, that makes sense because that's why Los Angeles passed this, because they want it to help incentivize people to shoot here versus like going to Atlanta or Louisiana or places with higher credit.
Or Eastern Europe. Like it's like
I wondering why it took so long. I mean, it's good, but like
I read some takes on this, and it's like for 100 years, Hollywood had the monopoly on media, right? And creating movies and creating shows. And it was from this, I think, point of view that they haven't updated and keep up with the times. And between the pandemic and between the streaming wars and all the things that shifted and changed, I think that I mean, Los Angeles started to get behind. And now we have productions everywhere and we don't have any incentives. So crews are having a very, very hard time. So it's in a way a desperate move to try to bring back jobs for crews below the line. Because the truth is, directors and writers are kind of agnostic of the place they are in a way, right? Like you can be writing from anywhere, or you could go to Atlanta and write. That's fine. They're not going to look for local writers. They're going to look for local wardrobe designers and DPs and electrics and grips, like below the line workers that are local. Like they cannot come to, Atlanta to shoot and live there, right? So it's a kind of a tough situation right now. And actors as well suffer this thing because they're very local in a way. Do you think it's going to work, Helen?
I don't know.
You hope it's going to work?
I kind of hope it's going to work because if not, I'm going to be incentivized to like move to Texas and shoot stuff there because they're opening up those ginormous studios, right? The sound stages they're building.
Yeah.
The stages are there.
Where would you live in Texas? In Austin?
I don't want to even think about it. I've already done it. I've already lived there. Like I don't need to do that anywhere now. I don't even want to put it in the universe.
If you don't want to live in Texas, what we should do is save LA.
Yeah, exactly.
The planet.
They're trying.
Okay, great.
So right now,
that's good news.
That is good news. Right now, we usually would go and jump into How Did They Make It, which is a segment that I really like, where we talk about either like actors, directors, artists, and we talk about how they've made it. But I want to, before that, hear about the movies that Javi is going to recommend that I watched this week. Because listen, I'm going to watch them. Last time I had drinks with Javi, I was like, I'm going to watch that movie. Did I watch it? No. I'm going to watch the movies, Javi.
Okay, I didn't know that. Now I'm scared. No, actually, I think there are movies that you might like. I think they are not for everyone, though.
It's okay.
And I think the list that I create, it has an crescendo. So it's like, if you watch one and you like, you can go to the next and then go to the next. So it's like, they are all connected by one theme. So I think it's interesting, but you can watch one and don't like it. So you don't need to watch the next one. I have some physical media, so I brought it. Like the first one is my beloved Carnival of Souls. Maybe you are seeing it in a mirror.
We've already seen it. I don't know what that is.
You're so mean, Nico.
Well, the thing, that's not true. First, this is not true.
It looks amazing, and I'm already in.
This movie is so good. I love this movie. I love what this movie means too. And I'm going to explain why. So this movie, when it's a really old movie, I don't remember the year. Going to check right now. I think it's 1962. The director is Herb Harvey. I don't think he's a well-known director at all. But what happened with this movie is when they made it at the time, it's a low-budget American movie. Nothing happened. But like years later, it was like rediscovered. So it turns into this like art house movie. And I will say like people that like horror, they definitely seeing this movie because it inspires so many people, including me, because it's so good. At the time, they made it with like $30,000. That is a really low budget for the time. It's like $300,000 probably now, adjusted by inflation. And it has so many clever ideas that were explored at that time. Like remember, like this is 62, so Psycho was made in the 60s. So filmmaking was like super advanced at that time, especially in the genre. But the low budget way this movie was made, it makes it so interesting, and like how they have to accomplish certain things and ideas in a visual way and in a cheap way. Let's say, for example, in this movie, like at the time, all the car scenes were shot with a rear projection, so they project in a screen and they play that they're driving. In this movie, they put the camera inside the car with the actors because they don't have the money to do the rear projection. So they shot it with a camera of the time that it was used for news, and they use it in the car with the actors. And they made effects with mirrors, so you can see like ghosts in the reflections of the glass of the car. So the story is this woman that has a car accident at the beginning of the movie, and then she moves cities. She's in Kansas and she moves to Salt Lake City. And she plays the organ for a living. Talking about people that is artists in films, right? But the interesting thing is like she plays the organ. So the organ is like this big instrument that is like a piano, but it has like air, And in the score of the movie is all made with that instrument. So it's so eerie, like that sound all the time playing, and sometimes it's diegetic. So sometimes
instrument. Right?
It's a church. Exactly. Yeah. She plays for the church. She works for the church.
I'm already scared. Like I'm already spooked. I don't know.
It's from the 60s, Helen. Come on.
It's so scary.
Well, but there is another thing. So every character in this movie is so weird. They all the time say that she's weird. That this is an interesting thing. All these characters are saying like, oh, this lady is so weird. But what happened is like everyone else is weird. She's fine. And the thing is how this movie was made. Maybe there is a lot of things that are like by mistake. They are good. We are not going to know this. We are not going to know the true intentions of the filmmakers. But what matters is the result. So there is this character that tries to flirt with her all the time, and he's the most creepiest person ever. She's inviting to him, but at the same time, he's like, everything is eerie. Like everything, and the editing, like the shots are so long that they're so uncomfortable, and like the reactions, even if they're saying something positive in the movie, it feels like it's not positive. Like everything feels like a whole like nightmare.
Sounds like a great Saturday night for you, Helen.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Can I
But it's fun. It's fun.
We should do this. We should do another of those screenings and watch it together.
Sabi.
Another thing that I forgot is the director he makes like industrial films. That's his like title that I don't even know what that means, but sounds weird. So he's driving back from a shoot and he passed from this like carnival, like abandoned theme park. So he gets inspired by it and he's like going back to his production company and said to the writer that was working there, like, hey, I passed through this thing. Can you write a movie that has one scene with ghosts dancing on this theme park? So, and that's how everything starts. And like the cinematography is amazing. Like everything in the movie is so good. And you don't understand how they made it with so little budget, just creativity, visual language, a lot of visual language. Like everything has a little idea and a little trick that makes the movie so enjoyable, and it flies. So then after that, I moved to something more modern. Maybe you watch it. It's Safe from 1995, directed by Todd Haynes. It's a Julianne Moore movie.
He did Carol.
Carol for
May December most recently, and Velvet Goldmine, which is one of my favorite movies. When I was like a teenager, I thought Velvet Goldmine was the coolest thing.
Well, Safe is his second movie, and it connects with Carnival of Souls in a different way. The character is Carol White. Is like a suburban housewife in LA that start feeling like she's, I will say, allergic to absolutely everything, maybe allergic to life. So she encounters this group. It's really LA. It's like a really LA movie. It combines like mental health with real illnesses and like allergic to like fumes. It's like it's like based in the 80s, but the movie was shot in the 90s. But it's like at that time, maybe like contamination and like how the city was growing and everything was like affecting people. She's trying to find a place where she can be safe from all this toxicity around her. It talks about so many things and could be interpreted as so many different ways, because you can interpret like it's talking about AIDS or talking about like identity, like how you can not be comfortable in your life, not because of external factors, because of interior factors. And it has so many eerie images, because when she's in this like cult of being safe from everything, there is like these people, I was going to say crazy, but like these people that are like all covered with masks because they cannot get attacked by the environment and fumes and stuff. And it's a really interesting film, shot beautifully, like all the locations really LA. It's like a little bit first world problems, you know, because it's like this rich woman in a marriage, like classical, with perfect houses, but has this problem that they cannot, like doctors cannot solve. But there's a really interesting way of shooting, like everything is in wide shot, people are not close together, you've never seen like two people close to each other, and then there is a moment that she like hug him, her husband, and he pukes. So it's a really cool way of shooting that feeling. I think these movies all transmit like a feeling. It's a little long, it's a little slow, but once you enter in it, you are for the ride, and you can really feel how she feels, and we can all relate with that feeling, and it can mean whatever it can mean for you, you know?
Yeah, I think I'm sold only because Julianne Moore is in it. I love her. And
oh, she's fantastic.
I'll bring her back up later when I talk about what I've been watching, because I watched something with her in it. But I also, the thing that you were describing about the film is actually very true. The psychology behind your ailments sometimes, and like I'm sure you guys have heard this, but for example, my mom believes that the reason that I lost my voice is because there's something that I want to say that's stuck inside of me, and psychologically like I need to like say it and let it out. And every time she brings it up, I'm like, girl, if I knew what it was, like I would say it, but I don't know what it is. I know, I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I think that's very true.
Well, I think something that is interesting is like how ambiguous that is. Because all the time we are thinking in the movie, like, is this something really happening, or is only in her mind? And they talk about that in the movie too, because I think it's like they're not giving you the answer, right? Like, but there is some hints there, like, oh, like they ask her, like, is the problem is in you, you know?
Yeah. I could see how Julianne Moore could kill a thing like that. It's just so good.
Whomever watch it, the ending is amazing and really shocking in a calm way, because it's just a monologue that she has, and how it's shot, like you don't understand exactly what they try to say, but you do. Maybe logically you don't know what it is, but you can feel it inside, like, oh shit, like I get it.
David Lynch so much that I'm not intellectually getting anything, but I am feeling so many things on those scenes, and I really moved by it, but I'm not sure how. It has an amazing quality to being able to communicate emotions without really intellectualizing too much. Mm-hmm. I don't think that he knows what he's trying to do exactly rationally, but he does in his body.
Yeah, and I think it's like maybe if you start, and I think for everyone that's doing something creative, if you start to think about what you're writing or what you're creating, you can give it a meaning, but it's beyond what you are trying to do, you know, like exceeds what you're trying to do, especially if you can analyze later. And I think what I was saying, because in the movie, I think in this movie, especially because it's from the 80s, I have the feeling that it's talking about AIDS. There is one character then that he disclosed that he has AIDS, like the leader of the cult, I think, if I don't remember wrong. So I think AIDS is flying around, like the movie is maybe talking about that too. But as I say, I think it's like talking about a lot of things, or it can be interpreted as a different things, depends of how you watch the movie. And I think I rediscovered this movie kind of like recently, and I think living in LA and watching that movie is a really good combination, because you can really feel how she feels like she has an anxiety attack in the car, because like the traffic is so overwhelming for her. So you can really start feeling that. Maybe if you're not in LA, you can feel it too, but I think it's like it makes it so much more living in LA and seeing all those same places.
All right, so we're gonna start with Carnival of Souls, and then
Carnival of Souls, then Safe,
and then we're gonna move into the Todd Haynes movie. What's the name?
and then Safe, and then for the last one, this is a personal favorite. This is not the 2016 Personal Shopper.
Oh,
Yes.
I've seen it.
I've seen that. Wow, we saw this. This is the one they bought.
I love you so.
Didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
No.
Love it.
Let me try to remember what it was even about.
Well, the movie is about this woman that she works as a personal shopper for a celebrity, I think, and she recently lost her brother. I don't remember if it was her twin brother or not, but like her brother.
Twin brother, yeah.
I love this idea. This movie has an idea that I love. That is, they always, because they kind of like medium, so they always said that if someone dies first, is going to try to communicate to the other one from beyond.
Yeah.
So in this movie, she's basically the whole movie trying to get a message from him. And I think how this movie shot, Kristen Stewart performance, I love it. Low for some people, maybe it's not giving you all the answers. But I would say, for example, it's interesting how this is a horror movie, but it's classified as art house horror movie, because even though
is there a debate there? Because is it like how can you classify something as horror when it's really jump scare?
Classify it as a horror film at all. It's like suspense thriller. I don't think it's horror.
Well, but there's supernatural element to it. No, that's why.
No.
Well, I will consider these three movies horror movies, even though maybe some people don't consider horror movies. I don't care. I consider horror movies. I mean, the three of them have ghosts, so that's a big element. One probably is like a external ghost, and I don't want to spoil the first one. The second one is an internal ghost, and then the personal shopper, I think, is the one that has like real ghosts. In this universe, they are saying that ghosts are real. I have a hard to believe that a movie can say that ghosts are real. It's not a horror movie. And maybe the horrors in the movie are not exactly that. I think it's like grief is a very strong feeling that this movie has. And sometimes how grief gives meaning to this character. And she's trying to find her brother, but it's not exactly doing that. I think it's shot beautifully. And it's this kind of movies that when I finished, I was like, oh, I wish I could make that film. And it was not me. It was someone else. But that's the movies I want to make. And I know a lot of people, as I started at the beginning, it's like, these movies are not for everyone. I know that. Not everyone loves Personal Shopper. I love it.
But you love it, you know?
I love it so much. I actually have it. I don't have that many physical media, but I have this one because, yeah.
I think that's why you're successful, because you make things that you are passionate about, you know? You're not out here making films for other people. You're just making what you would be interested in. And there are a lot of people like you who are interested in...
Helen, you wanted to, before we run out of time, I really want to hear about how did they make it? I watch a movie that I think it's connected to the career of someone I really love, which is David Bowie. And the movie is called Moonage Daydream, and it came out in 2022. And it's a documentary that is very abstract in that it's not your traditional cradle-to-grave documentary that has a voiceover or talking heads. Instead, what they do is they have voiceover interviews with David Bowie against concert videos and music videos and TV appearances, and sometimes even footage of the era. And it goes back and forth from his life. But at some point in the movie, what you start getting is the picture of who David Bowie was, and kind of like the story of an aging artist that is looking back into his career. So it connects very well with this idea of how they make it. David Bowie has like a first stage of his life that is when he's young and he's trying, it's a little bit of trial error. He's very, very young. He's very eager. He comes from a middle class, very boring suburban environment. He's trying to find a persona that would make it. And he, I think, releases a couple albums. I'm not a specialist, but he doesn't. The albums that he releases don't really cut fire until he creates Ziggy Stardust. And Ziggy Stardust is his preferred character and a persona that it's supposed to be an alien that it does music, and that explodes. That Ziggy Stardust is kind of like the first encounter of the world of the 60s with androgynous men and gender bending personas. I would argue, I mean, I'm not a specialist about this, but it's one of the first mainstream pop icons that feel androgynous and defies genders in a time where like everyone else, it's funny, and you see the TV appearances, like everybody is on a suit, and the 50s in England, like there's no more like conservative people than that. And then this guy is out of a 2027, Pride Parade. Like he is dressing with like very cool ideas, and he is super confident and speaking with this very traditional people about what he is and what he is like, and completely happy in his own skin. He's so confident. And as you go, you can see this tension between a David Bowie that wants to be mainstream and wants to create songs that pleases everyone. And he has the uncanny ability to do that, right? Especially when he kills Ziggy Stardust and moves into like his 30s, he starts doing very popular songs and releases a couple albums that are extremely popular. And he like starts giving interviews as saying like, all right, yeah, this is what I wanted. Like I wanted to have an audience. And people think I sold out, and I didn't. I don't mind. Like I think an artist should find its audience. And he becomes like a mega star in the late 80s, early 90s, Coke commercials and music videos, and he's selling anything, right? And then you have a David Bowie later that starts revising those years and thinking, well, maybe I wasn't that happy trying to please everyone. And maybe at my core, I really wanted to explore my own ideas and force people to like what I like. So you always have this tension because this guy has the ability to please crowds and entertain, and at the same time has this impulse of being their own person. And how he debates himself on those two poles, I think, is what becomes David Bowie, the David Bowie that eventually we know. And now because he died, like we can see his whole career and see how like those peaks and valleys are beautiful. Like you can see the more abstract ideas and the most mainstream ideas. I love both. I'm a big fan. And it was a great, like the movie is a great window into these feelings and these ideas without really getting into any conclusions. It's very abstract and a little bit slow, but it's beautiful. And the music is super fun. I was singing along.
I am intrigued by this documentary, so I want to check it out. Where did you watch it?
I think it's Max. Yeah.
I think it was a movie that was in theaters not long ago.
Brett Morgan is the filmmaker.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. I love it. I will check it out. I didn't know that about David Bowie, but that's really great. I was going to bring up the movie that I watched, but honestly, it's not a new movie. I think you guys have probably seen it, but Julianne Moore is in it. It's The Room Next Door.
No, Jose, bring it up.
I have.
What, you guys haven't seen it?
No,
I think I have it.
Okay, well, this sucks now because I was hoping you guys could tell me the ending because I didn't.
No.
I was like, these guys have for sure seen this Pedro Almodovar movie, like for sure.
Wait, say it again. How is it called?
The Room Next Door. It's Pedro, right?
Is it the American movie? Is the English movie?
I haven't seen it. It's Almodovar.
Yeah, it's his latest, Pedro Almodovar's
The latest now. Is it good?
Tilda Swinton. Okay, you guys will want to watch it because it's kind of crazy. It's about Tilda Swinton, and she has cancer. And Julianne Moore is like a friend of a friend. Like she met her a couple of times, but she's not super close to this lady. But she comes and she visits her and like brings her flowers and is like, hey, I heard you were sick. And then Tilda's character like latches onto her and is like, I want you to be in the room next door when I decide to kill myself because I don't want to do treatment anymore. I'm done. I want to go to this Airbnb for a month and then I want to take the pill and just die. And I want you in the room next door. It's insane.
We need to watch the ending, though.
I got distracted. I was in my brother's apartment and he had it up. And then his roommate came in and we started talking. And I was like, all right, I'm never going to finish this movie. At one point, there was like a really weird scene where Julianne like starts hooking up with her trainer. And
as you do.
She comes home and Tilda has the door to her room closed. And they had said, if the door is closed to my room, like that means I've done it. So she comes home late and the door is closed and she loses her mind. And then Tilda was manipulating her and being like, you were very dramatic. You need to be ready. That was like a test run. You sucked. You need to be better next time. And I was just like what is this movie?
Oh my God. Yeah, well, that's Almodovar for you. It sounds like a fun Airbnb to rent.
I know. Javi, thank you for joining us on this.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. And I will be watching this movie. All right? So next time I see you, you better ask me. Just the first one. I think I can commit to one.
Yeah.
Or we can watch.
We'll ask you. I would watch it with you, Helen.
Let's watch it together. That way you guys can keep me accountable.
I mean, Nico. Now, when I was talking, I was like, "Oh, this movie, Nico has to watch it because Nico is writing something, and I think he could."
Amazing.
And I already did that. I already like showing Nico's movies that he can use in his imagination.
Well, thanks, guys. I will see you soon. Take care.
Bye.
Bye bye.